In the shadows of Yankee Stadium, there's revelry all around, people feeling good about life, and there's a little baseball game going on. Check this play out. Nice play, the flip. Over the first, they got him. And there's a big league ball game as well. It's this little guy's first, and if he stays through tonight, he's going to have 2 games under his belt. As today, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the first game of a day-night doubleheader here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton and Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. First game of the 4-game series. In fact, the Yankees and the O's will play 4 games in 41 hours. And the first one, not good for the Yankees. They lost 4-2, Kenny.
Well, last night, the Orioles got it together. They finally got a win against the Yankees. They had lost the first 6. Jeremy Guthrie had lost 7 straight starts to the Yankees, but last night he was on. 5 strikeouts during the course of the game, fastballs, cutters, and a sinker as well. He did a very good job. He got some power help from Mark Reynolds. Reynolds has 16 hits this month. 7 of them are home runs. He's only hitting 193 for July. And Derek Lee, well, he's got 12 home runs on the year. 6 of them this month. The veteran is heating up down the stretch.
Let's take a look now at the New York Lottery pitching matchup. Chris Tillman gets the call to make the start. 2-3, 4.69. Bartolo Colon for the Yankees, 7-6, sparkling, 3.29 ERA. His last time out, Paul, he did very well.
Well, he had a quality start. There's no doubt about it. He threw 7 innings, only gave up a couple runs, and he had an outing a few outings before it was his worst of all time. So it's good to see him back. He is an overachiever of what the Yankees expected this year. He's kind of marching up the step to be that #2 starter. If he continues that, you could see him move up really quick.
Well, he's had a lot of reason to be happy, and he's given the Yankees a lot of reasons to be happy. Chris Tillman has as well. They've got some experience against him. A couple of guys have huge numbers. Do players know that? We'll talk with Paul O'Neill about that when we return right here on Yes. Is 7-9. Welcome back to Yankees baseball, everybody. That's Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Ken Singleton will rejoin us in just a moment. Does a batter have to have the stats thrown at him, or does he know before he even looks at the stats that he has great numbers against the pitcher?
You know, as a hitter, you have great numbers, and so much of this game is confidence. And when you continually hit a pitcher well, every once in a while it does get in the back of your mind, hey, can this continue? Can this go on? Or is it going to even out over time? But there are certain pitchers that you just see the ball well out of their hands.
Now, how about pitchers that you see the ball well out of their hands, but you don't hit in good luck? You know you're hitting line drives. Do you make adjustments because you're making outs, although you're hitting the ball hard?
No. I mean, you go up there as a hitter, you know guys that you're very comfortable off of, and you know guys that are tough at bats. And usually those numbers tell you, if you feel good or not. But there are certain guys over your career you just absolutely own. Whether there's a reason for it, I don't know, but that's just the way it is.
And you know what? Chris Tillman knows that Mark Teixeira and Robinson Cano hit him well, so it goes both ways also. When we come back, we'll have lineups, we'll have first pitch, we're going to have baseball next on Yes, and don't forget defense. Nick Swisher's been flashing the leather. It's all coming up in just a moment. Sound, get the best in HD free. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here in the Bronx, and Bartolo Colon is on the hill taking his warm-ups. And why don't we take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, which is presented by HP. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, leads off, batting second, playing right field, Nick Markakis. Adam Jones in center field will hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Vlad Guerrero. Derek Lee's at first base, he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Mark Reynolds. Felix P.A. in left field will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the catcher, Craig Tatum. And Blake Davis, the second baseman. He's going to bat ninth.
Bartolo Colon is all warmed up and ready to go to face J.J. Hardy. Get this first of 2 underway here at the stadium. Here are the numbers on Colon for the year. He's made 15 starts, 7-6 record, and a very good earned run average. The rest of the numbers are pretty good as well. Let's check out our Jeep Pitcher Scouting Report on Bartolo Colon. This is what it says. 10 wins against the Orioles. That's the most wins he has against an Eastern Division team in his career. 104 innings pitched. He hasn't gone beyond 104 since 2005. And Special K gets a lot of called third strikes.
Let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is outside, and we are underway. Hardy 5 hits in his last 19 at bats. And the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. Boy, that seemed like it was on the inside line of the left-handed batter's box. So that's Tim Welke, strike zone. Colon's got a good sign there. And another one.
Oh, my.
Oh, this time Hardy has something to say. You know, I think he's aware it's going to be a long day out here. Let's keep things moving.
Oh, that's the way.
The way Cervelli's setting up, that leg out there might be in the grass by the time he gets out on this outside pitch.
Colon's a veteran. He could take advantage of it. He's going there again.
Well, he just missed. He got a piece of the plate there.
He would have said something.
Nothing like being 0-2 when they haven't even come close to the plate yet.
Orioles 42-60, won last night 4-2. The 1-2. Driven into right center field. Gardner on the run. He slides and make the play. A head first slide, dive, slash, and he made the play.
Well, Brett Gardner, I mean, he's a true center fielder, and he's done a great job in left field this year, but good jumps. It looks fast in yes mode.
Speed never takes a vacation.
Yeah, it's there.
Granderson gets the first game off, so that's why Gardner's in center. Here's Nick Markakis, 2 hits in his last 17 at bats. Pitch outside, count 1-0. Strike, 1-1.
Kenny, last time out, that was a pitch that he had great control of, especially against lefties. That the ability to throw that ball in and have it come back over the inside corner. Talked about Cervelli last time out. He's really going with the Tony Pena look back there. Leg out. His pitchers love that target. Took one off there.
Cervelli and Colon have worked very well together. 4 games started as a battery. Colon is 3-0 with a 0.93 ERA with Cervelli. They're on the same page.
Popped up. Long run for Dickerson, and he makes the play. Well, you can tell the difference right there without Jeter and short, because that's one that he would take control over, and Nunez let Dickerson make that play. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. You've got Dickerson in left, Gardner in center, and Swisher in right. Infield, Chavez, Nunez, Cano, and Posada. That's third to first. Shares a DH. Cervelli's behind the plate. Bartolo Colon is on the mound. Derek's laughing as they say, what happened there? Adam Jones takes a strike.
Here's another look, and you can see Dickerson with the good speed in front of Gardner. Long run makes the catch. And Derek said,
Check swing might have gotten his hand. They're going to check with the first base ump, who said no, he did not swing. If he swings, then he doesn't take first. So he's going to take first on hit by pitch.
It looked like that fastball, Paul, where it had a lot of movement on it. Jones starts for it, but I think he's going to hold up. Yeah. But did the ball hit the bat? Did the ball hit the bat and then hit him? In which case it's a foul ball.
That ball hit him in the wrist. It looked like it hit him in the leg after it either hit his arm or the bat.
Hit him in the arm.
Yeah, hit him in the arm. Hit him in the arm. A little better look from this angle.
So he's on first, and here's Vlad Guerrero. And he swings at the first pitch.
It's 5 consecutive.
I think it is, yeah. No, one time he took the first pitch because it was in the dirt. So 4 out of 5.
But he was thinking about swinging. Highest percentage of swings in the American League. 58.8% of the pitches he sees, he's swinging at.
He's on the DL with a broken bone in his hand. He's come back strong.
That's the way he's been his whole career.
There's Derek Lee. He had a big night last night with a double, a home run, a walk, 2 runs scored. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless. The 1-0. Count 2-0.
His first inning's kind of going true to form for Colon. He's retired the side in the first inning only 3 times in 15 starts this year.
Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's nice.
A day, difference a day from last night.
87 degrees, 42% humidity, 9 miles per hour, sunny skies, low humidity is the forecast. The 2-0 strike.
Something's got to give here. You see, Derek Lee has not been successful with runners in scoring position, but opponents are hitting .329 off Colon with runners in scoring position.
Chasing Jones back to second. This was the originally scheduled game on your schedule. The night portion of the day-night doubleheader is the makeup game for a previous rainout. And Ivan Nova is going to get activated, and he'll make the start for the Yankees. And he'll go up against Zach Britton. Ground ball in the hole, fielded by Nunez. Fires to second, and the throw pulls Cano off the bag. So everybody is safe, bases loaded. And that's going to be an error on Nunez.
Well, Lee's going to reach on the fielder's choice, but the error is here. Nunez, all season long, has had problems with his throws. This one's a little high, pulls Cano off the back, so the inning's going to continue. In his haste to make a strong throw, he had more time than he thought to get Guerrero. Guerrero does not run as well as he used to, but the throw is high. It's going to be yet another error on the young shortstop. That's his 14th of the year.
So here's Mark Reynolds. A big early moment in this game, and there's a strike.
You see again that liberal wide strike zone. Frustrating for a hitter, especially with a big at bat right here with bases loaded.
Big home run for Reynolds yesterday in the second inning, 2-run shot. Kenny mentioned 14th error for Nunez, 10 of them at shortstop. Reynolds does not have good numbers with the bases loaded. 130. So Jones is at third, Guerrero's at second, Derek Lee is at first. 1-2.
How we talked about Reynolds' propensity to strike out. I saw a note the other day that Stan Musial, in 22 years in the major leagues, only had one game in which he struck out 3 times.
1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to get out of a jam. No runs to hit. 1 error, and the bases are left loaded. It's the Orioles nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. Nunez, the shortstop, will bat second. Mark Teixeira, the DH, hits third. Cleaning up second baseman Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher's in right field. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Eric Chavez. Jorge Posada will play first base. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, the left fielder Chris Dickerson. And Francisco Cervelli is going to catch. He's going to bat ninth.
23-year-old Chris Tillman on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles today. 1-2 in his career against the Yankees. He pitched earlier this season here at Yankee Stadium and took the loss. These are his numbers against the American League this year. He's been sent out to the minors. This is his first start since coming back from the minor league. So he and Britton called up today to make the starts. Here's a Jeep pitcher scouting report. He's got a good curveball. Problem is he doesn't get it over enough, and then he has to rely on his fastball. 9-11-09. That was the day that Derek Jeter passed Lou Gehrig on the all-time Yankee hit list to become the Yankee with the most hits ever. Chris Tillman gave up that hit. And Tillman's had some minor success. 3-time All-Star in the minor leagues.
I was going to say minor success,
but it hasn't translated to the big league level.
I like the way you tied that all together, especially with that date in the middle there.
Yeah. That's an important date in Yankee history. Yeah.
Here's Brett Gardner. Brett 0 for his last 8 and 4 for his last 24. The strikeout that ended the top of the first inning That was Cologne's 1,700th career strikeout, and a big one. There's a strike. Chopped over the mound, going to be a very tough play. Davis, field, fires. Got him. Quick hands by Derek Lee.
Tell you what, this is a tough play for a first baseman because you get to the bag and you know that the second baseman is going to have to let it go, and you just do not have a lot of time to react. See, he makes the right call. I think he got it.
Mike Estabrook, the first base ump.
You see Derek Lee. It's a quick reaction play for the first baseman. Just when Brett Gardner's getting down the line.
Here's Eduardo Nunez against Tillman. Pitch outside. Nunez 7 hits in his last 19 at bats. Count 1-1.
Talking to Mike Flanagan, former teammate of mine who now does the games on TV for Baltimore. He was talking about Tillman. There's that good curveball, but you notice how straight up and down he is. He doesn't really follow through. Can't get the ball down. That's why his fastball stays up and he gets hit. And there's Mike, Cy Young Award winner in 1979. 123 games that year. But he just said, watch Tillman closely and just watch how it's hard for him to get his fastball down. You can see he has struggled in first innings in his starts.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Nunez. Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. You've got PA at left, Jones at center, and Markakis over and right. Infield, Reynolds, Hardy, Davis, and Lee, third to first. Craig Tatum behind the plate, and Chris Tillman is on the mound.
Tillman started on April 13th against the Yankees here, and he got hammered. Hitting in 2/3, 9 hits, 6 runs given up. He wasn't around long.
I like the way you don't sugarcoat that. He got hammered.
Yeah, he did. Ask him, he'll tell you.
Talk about that straight up and down motion, and you see that there's no drive from the back leg. It looks like to really drive that ball down in the strike zone. I mean, also that delivery probably helps that curveball.
It is. One thing I noticed, he's working pretty quickly.
Trying to sneak through this first inning. He's had all kind of trouble.
And the 1-2. Last night, Mark Teixeira went yard. It was his 29th home run of the year.
One of the few mistakes that Jeremy Guthrie made. 3-2 pitch right there.
Oh, my. Sorry for the reaction, but man. It's a double take there. Once in a while, I think the umpire gets fooled too.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Good first inning for Tillman. He strikes out 2 Yankees, and the Bombers go down in order. 1 inning in the books. There's no score. Let's go to the second right here on Yes. outfielder will have the greatest impact on his new team? You can text us at 58772. Here are your choices. Will it be Carlos Beltran of the Giants or Hunter Pence of the Phillies? And, of course, standard text messaging rates apply.
Yeah, look at that in a different way. Are you talking about effect this year or down the road? Because Hunter Pence, we were talking about, they've got him for 2 more years after this.
Mm-hmm.
Beltran's a free agent.
You look at it a different way, too. You know, Hunter Pence is on a team that's already in first place. What kind of impact is he going to have? He's going to help keep them there? No, they've got there by themselves, basically. But, you know, he's going to help them from this point on. Carlos Beltran might propel the Giants in the playoffs. I think we would all agree we think the Phillies are going to the playoffs.
Not too many people around the baseball circle that don't believe the Phillies are going to the World Series.
Strike 3. Felix Pierre down looking. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Bartolo Colon has the highest percentage of called strikeouts in the majors this season, and that's 54% of his strikeouts were called strikeouts.
Yeah, that spillover right there. It just starts at the hip of the left-handed hitter, just spills right over the plate.
Here's Craig Tatum. Pitch outside.
And earlier in the year, Bartolo Colon had a shutout in the 7th inning, and we counted 1 slider. And so far today, you can see it's fastball, two-seamer, four-seamer, but he's got great control. With that liberal strike zone, I mean, you can pound that outside corner with a good fastball.
Kim Jones gave a really incredible stat on the pregame show. When Bartolo Colon won the Cy Young Award in 2005, his ERA at the end of July, I believe, was 3.72. And his ERA right now, at this moment, is 3.25. That's the type of year he's having.
We did a game in Baltimore earlier this year, Michael, on May 18th. And Colon started it. 3 hits in 8 innings, no runs, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. But Mariano had one of his rare blown saves.
That was a big extra inning.
The whole 14 innings. Michael remembers.
No, we were so happy. 2 away as Bartolo knocked it down.
I think I texted you that night, Michael. I was just trying to keep you in the game.
Thanks.
Ball right back up the middle. Kind of a defensive play. Knocked it down. But the thing is, you don't rush. As a pitcher, second baseman, you know that if you knock the ball down, you're going to have time.
I mean, you could sense the energy was kind of dipping on it during the quick.
I worry about the boy when I'm not around. I send him a text once in a while.
That was the night that Noesi pitched 4 innings of relief and got the win.
Yep.
And had the bases loaded like every inning, got out of it.
There's Blake Davis.
That was his first major league appearance. He got a win. Left 27 men on base in 4 innings.
Well, we know he knows how to get out of a jam. You just got to figure out how to not pitch your way into it.
So we'll keep him around.
Sharply to first. Nice play by Posada. And he's going to beat Davis to the bag, and that'll do it. So much easier second inning than the first for Colon as he retires Baltimore in order. Inning and a half in the books. There's no score right here on Yes. us. Enjoy the journey. The journey continues with a game tonight at 7:05. Then the homestand in the series concludes tomorrow at 1:05. Then on the road, 4 at the Cell against the White Sox. All 8:10 starts. And then 3 against the Boston Red Sox. The game will be on Yes on Friday. And then extra innings Saturday and Sunday on Yes following the Fox and ESPN broadcasts.
Here's a look at the last play. Now, one thing to remember, Bartolo Colon went on the DL earlier this year covering first base. So if you're a first baseman, you want to do all that you can to make the play 3 unassisted if you can. Don't have Bartolo busting it over there. He can take a nice little stroll back to the dugout.
Does he have a first gear?
That's it.
That's it. Larry Rothschild and Joe Girardi kind of hold their breath every time he does have to cover. In the old days, Kenny, I mean, you would try to take advantage of things like this. You'd see guys trying to bunt, trying to get him off the mound, especially when he's throwing the ball as well as he is. Now guys grab the bat out of the bat rack and just think of nothing but driving a ball out of the park.
Foul back. Cano 7 for 9 lifetime against Tillman. And 7 for his last 29, average at 290.
And we kind of went over this last night. If you're Bobby Cano, you've got to look back at your last at bats. Most of them you have in your head. You don't lose them and know how you hit him and figure he's going to change. You know, Tillman's on the other side figuring out, you know, this guy has absolutely owned me. I have got to go to a different pattern, a different pitch.
Or make better pitches.
Robbie had some uncomfortable at bats against Guthrie yesterday. I haven't seen that from him.
And now he strikes out against Tillman, who has struck out 3 Yankees in a row.
Tillman throwing that high fastball, getting it by people.
Earlier in the season, his velocity was not what they thought it should be. It dipped below 90, but now today you see this one's 93. Right on by Cano.
Orioles got Tillman from the Mariners in the trade that sent Eric Bedard to Seattle. They got Tillman, Adam Jones, reliever George Sherrill, and pitchers Tony Butler and Cam Micaleo. Is it Micaleo or Micolio?
Micaleo.
I was wrong on both.
0 for 2. You still got a couple of bats. You can make up for it.
Come back with a 2 for 4. That's a good day.
Yeah, but you put so much pressure on yourself in the third at bat.
Boy, do you.
Could not hold up. Third base umpire Mike DeMuro said he went around. And there is the trade. That's a pretty good trade. Jones is an all-star center fielder. Sherrill was a top-flight closer. Tillman, they thought they were going to get a big-time starter. He's kind of gone back and forth. Cam's been back with the been back and forth with the Orioles. And Bedard last night in a game that was being scouted by many really got lit up against Tampa Bay.
Micaleo eventually got traded. I think he went to Houston, if I'm not mistaken.
Strike 3. 4 strikeouts in a row for Tillman. Well, follow the New York Yankees with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text it back to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details.
Well, Tillman's pitching. He's pitching like he doesn't want to go back to the minors. AAA for Baltimore is Norfolk in the International League.
With that strikeout, Tillman has already exceeded his last start against the Yankees, which he lasted just an inning and a third.
Every once in a while, you get comfortable up here and you get a little couple of game stint down the minor leagues, and boy, it really opens your eyes again. You do not want to go back down.
Chavez with a fly ball to right center. Adam Jones is there, and that will do it. 2-1-2-3 innings from Chris Tillman. We go to the third. There's no score. a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. And J.J. Hardy against Bartolo Colon. There's a strike. On the Lincoln scoreboard, no score. Foul back.
Hardy's going to get his best reps on high fastballs.
The scoreboard on Hardy, his father was a professional tennis player. His mother, Susie, was a professional golfer. Introduced to a lot of sports growing up.
Yeah, it's a little play for pay in that family.
That's right.
And speaking of being paid, he just got a 3-year extension. Seven home runs this month. Had 4 in Toronto. Hated to leave.
Popped up. Posada called off by Cano. Nice play by Cano, calling him off and making the play.
You get the feeling that Jorge's running back there and he hears Robbie say, "I got it." What a relief. Go ahead, take it.
Somebody call.
Please.
Send me a text, anything.
Oh, yeah. I'll get out of your way. I'll tell you, Robbie makes things defensively look so easy at times.
Here's Nick Markakis. A strike.
Earlier this season, Markakis picked up the 1,000th hit of his career.
And it's funny because you're really still trying to figure out what he's going to become as a player. I mean, he's had some years where he's hit 40 doubles, but you look and still 10 home runs. I mean, this is a guy 3 or 4 years ago that you might have thought, he's going to graduate into hitting 20 or 30 home runs every single year.
Back-to-back years where he hit 20. A couple of years we drove in 100 runs.
Yeah.
Well, this lineup has really suffered with the loss of Brian Roberts because for a while Markakis led off. I mean, they were trying everybody in the leadoff spot, and everything plays off of Roberts. But Roberts got hurt and is suffering from concussion syndrome, and it's just been a tough go for him.
They're still not aware when he's going to be back.
And if you hear the story on how he initially got hurt, it's amazing. He struck out in a game at the end of last year, and he took the bat and he smashed it on top of his helmet. Gave himself a concussion, and he is still suffering the effects. He got into a game this year, made a dive into first base, jarred his head. There's a fair ball down the right field line, kicks off the sidewall, right out to Swisher. Swisher makes the throw to second, but Markakis in with a double. And when he made the dive into first base, he again, I guess, re-injured himself. Hasn't been back.
Markakis has had good at-bats last night. You see he hooks that ball, hits it hard right down the line. Nick Swisher gets a good little carom out there, but Markakis running pretty well right out of the box.
Jorge's playing umpire there.
Trying to help. You got the first base coach pointing fair. The umpire better not look up. He's going to get all confused.
Yeah, 2 out of 3, though.
Yeah.
Wayne Kirby said fair, so did the umpire.
And according to Meatloaf, that's not bad. So it's a fair ball.
Well, now you're going to throw some music at that. No?
Adam Jones fouls it away.
Talked about Jones last night. His career high in home runs is 19. You can see he has 18. But of those 18 home runs, Paul, you talked about Camden Yards. He's hit 15 out of the 18 at home.
Yeah, it's a good hitter's park. There's no doubt about it.
I'll always remember when Camden Yards opened in '92. the Yankees were coming out of the third base dugout. First time they'd seen the ballpark. And Don Mattingly was walking up the steps, and I was behind him, and he looks around and goes, "Oh yeah."
I remember my first bus trip into Camden Yards. I was sitting next to Danny Tartable, and I'm telling you, from the time we left the hotel to there, it was like he was trying to sell the place. It was like the greatest place on earth to hit. Danny Tartable had a lot of success there.
He was warming you up to come to this new
Just
bar.
like
Yeah.
you're going to love this place. I mean, and it went on for 20 minutes.
2-1.
You hit one off Arthur Rhodes. It's kind of still going. 434 onto Utah Street.
You know, I
You
do
remember?
Oh, I remember. Well, you don't forget those, because Arthur Rhodes was pretty tough on me.
Well, you had payback with one swing.
Imagine Arthur Rhodes still pitching down in Texas, huh?
And you're sitting up here yapping.
Yeah, with you too. Just like old buddies up there.
Unbelievable. Who'd have thunk it? This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. 24 games at Camden Yards. That's why Danny Tartable was selling you on it, Paul. He had 8 home runs in 24 games.
That's one every series.
Bully bull.
Three-two. Missed outside, so Jones walks.
Bartolo going back to the well, trying to get that two-seamer to come back over the outside corner. Wilkie didn't go for it. He's pitched himself kind of into a jam. Got a couple pitches out there, but that ball's just a little bit too far away.
He's looking for a first pitch ground ball here.
Former teammates on the Angels. Now going against each other. Malone deals. Trimming out into left center. Gardner got a good jump. He's right there. He'll make the play. Tagging is Markakis. He'll go to third. The throw comes into second. And there are 2 down.
That might be the surest bet in baseball if Guerrero's going to swing at the first pitch.
If it's close, he's swinging. I mean, you basically have to throw it over his head or bounce it. Ball was hit on the nose. He just didn't elevate it enough.
Derek Lee. Here's the strike. The 0-1. Buzzed him inside, 95 miles an hour. Joe Girardi said before the game, he said the difference in Cologne now than when he pitched for the Indians and the Angels is he could throw it 98, 99 then. He said now the velocity's down. He said, but the movement is so much more than it was then.
A variety of ways of getting hitters out. Deception in your delivery, velocity, just pure speed, movement, and location. And he's got movement, location, and he's got decent speed too. Yeah.
I think coming out of spring training, nobody expected him, and I would still classify him as a power pitcher. I mean, fastball pitcher with good movement, but a heavy sinker. I saw that last pitch up and in at 95, so this is a guy that's not nibbling.
The 1-2. missed that side, 96 miles an hour.
So he's reaching back for a little extra here. Trying to get out of this inning.
He's facing a tough out here. Derek Lee hadn't had one of his career years, but the last few weeks they turned things up a little bit. Last night, great at bats, a home run and a double.
Runner goes, pitches outside, stolen base for Adam Jones. So now runners on second and third for Lee.
Jones' 9th stolen base in 10 attempts, and that might have been the easiest of the year for him. No throw.
Clearly away, and Kenny, this is when you're hit and all of a sudden now there's a base open and you've got to realize it's 3-2. Is he going to come after me? Is he going to try to nibble? I always thought this was a tough time to try to get back into it at bat.
Strike 3. Caught him looking. No runs ahead, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're at the bottom of the 3rd inning here in New York. Yankees and the Orioles 0-0 on yes. By Verizon Fios. Visit us online at Verizon.com/getFios to get the best deals on Fios. Zach Britton, another highly thought of youngster for the Orioles, 6-7, 4.05 against Ivan Nova, coming back from the minor leagues. 8-4, 4.12. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. with the pregame show on yes. First pitch right around 7:07, 7:08. And if Nova pitches well, there might be a competition between Nova and Phil Hughes, and the Yankees have not decided yet what roster move they're going to make to call up Nova. It's going to have to use the bullpen in this game. We'll see. Here's Posada. Yankees 6 up, 6 down against Tillman. That one is looped into left field, a base hit. Yankees' first base run.
Jorge was on base 4 times in last night's game. He had 2 singles and 2 walks. He gets things started here in the 3rd inning. Not your classic Posada hit, but it'll go down in the totals as a base hit. Lead off single here. Kind of jammed somewhat, but strong enough to force it over the head of Reynolds and in the left field. Sometimes you take a hit like that to start your day and feel pretty good.
Well, if you look at it, I mean, you got jammed, but the ball was up and in on the strike zone, and it's a good swing to keep that ball on the line because you fought through it. You didn't come off of it.
Lincoln scoreboard, no score. Here's Dickerson. And he bunts right back to Tillman with Posada running. They go to second to get the force.
I'll tell you what, it was a kind of a surprise play, and I think he caught Georgie off guard too. Tillman makes a good play because he receives the ball quick, but he checks to see if he has time. He just, you know, it was a good reaction play on Tillman's part. See Georgie not getting a great jump. Tillman makes a decision, has plenty of time.
wasn't the best bunt. You can see that almost directly towards the mound. If it's toward either line, then you might have a shot to get Posada to second.
I don't quite understand the bunt. You're in the third inning. You're not facing Cy Young, and Jorge Posada's on first. All of those things line up. You shouldn't really be bunting.
Well, that's one of those plays that you assume kind of went through Dickerson's mind. I'm going to do something on my own to make something happen. You just got to make sure you pull that bunt because it was kind of a late square. It wasn't a true sacrifice. You just got to make sure you pull that ball enough to get Lee on first base to field the ball.
Well, I think we can assure you that that was not called from the bench. That was Dickerson thinking that was a good play. Cervelli wraps one into left center field. Giving chase is PA. He's not going to get there. Tough break for the Yankees as the ball bounces over the wall for a double. Otherwise, Dickerson would have scored easily.
And here's where you needed that wet warning track from last night. The ball would have hit and kind of plugged. Wouldn't have bounced over, and Dickerson would have scored for first. Instead, today, things are dried out in left center field. And this hits the warning track, and warning track acts like a trampoline. Watch it, boom, over the fence. And Dickerson's going to have to stay at third. Cervelli has himself a long double to the gap in left center field.
But you don't see Cervelli drive that ball like he did that. The ball out over the plate.
I'm about to bring up Gardner. Gardner is 0 for his last night. He ended last night's game with the tying run on base by striking out on a high breaking ball and then in frustration smashing his bat to smithereens. So he is in a little bit of a slide now. Again, 0 for his last 9. Big opportunity for him with the infield bat, except at third. Cervelli's double continues a hot streak for him. He's now 9 for his last 23. That's 391 since June 25th. Must have crossed up Tatum as it goes to the backstop and bounces right back, so Dickerson could not score. And that little discussion means he was crossed up.
You see, he's turned his glove over to receive a breaking ball. Instead, it goes over his left shoulder all the way to the backstop, and then.
Good read by Dickerson. Obviously, your natural thing is to score, but that ball you got to ricochet right back. Would have been dead at the plate.
Also, here at the new Yankee Stadium, there's not that much foul room behind the plate. So if you get a good ricochet, you can make plays at home. There's the breaking ball he wanted. And that cross-up was the first time that there was a runner at second base today. So they had changed the signs and they weren't on the same page. Chases a high fastball.
Sometimes you get a little too anxious as a hitter, driving a runner from third, and you're helping the pitchers out. This is where your discipline really has to be on point with runners in scoring position. That accounts 2-1. Very rarely you see Gardner leave the strike zone.
It's in a 2-0 count.
Yeah.
He likes to take a lot of pitches. It's a different situation here with a man on third, anxious to get him in.
Of a lunging Reynolds, and that goes into left field. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run single for Gardner, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Brett Gardner does a good job seeing the ball away, slapping it away. Just quick enough in these day games. Infielders just a little bit slow because it's tough to pick up the ball off the bat. Right out there.
First of all, he's guarding against the bunt, so he's in close. That cuts down on his lateral range. Here we have it on Yesmo. And when you're a hitter, it looks even better on Yesmo.
So that breaks a 0 for 9 slide for Gardner, and he has 18 straight stolen bases, so he's a threat to go. And the Orioles thinking that as well.
On Yesmo, when you're hitting, you hit something like you see the replay, it gives you more time to appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, it's almost like in slow motion when you're out on that field because you're just hoping that thing finds the outfield grab, especially with runners in scoring position.
Just got back.
Emphatic call from Mike Estabrook at first. Gardner takes one of the biggest leads in the league. One of the first base coach, Mick Kelleher. Now he's going to have to get back quickly here. It was fairly close.
Foul back to the screen. Let's take a look at the American League stolen base leaders, brought to you by the HP Touchpad. Everybody on. And when Brett Gardner's on, he steals 32 stolen bases for Gardner, 31 for Rajai Davis of the Blue Jays, and Elvis Andrus 30 for the Rangers.
It's going to be a good race.
Literally. Popped up. Davis makes the play for the second out.
Always wanted to ask Paul, how did you steal 20 bases your last season, then retire?
Well, you make up your mind before the season, and then you don't take it into consideration.
Really? Yeah. What if you had one of those 30-30 years? You going to retire anyway?
Well, then you can talk about what you would have done down. You were just getting warmed up.
Jesus. Caught a second win late in my career.
It wasn't from speed. You know, you got to kind of guess, look for balls in the dirt.
Knowing when to go. That's part of stealing bases.
Popped up again. J.J. Hardy shades his eyes and puts it away for the final out. But the Yankees score 2 runs. Francisco Cervelli gets a double, put runners on second and third, and then Brett Gardner with the third baseman in slaps one past a diving Reynolds for 2. Yankees lead 2-0. Quiz. Cal Ripken won the 1982 American League Rookie of the Year award. Who won the National League Rookie of the Year that same season? Hint, he later became a Yankees All-Star. Wow.
Usually don't hand out hints.
Because when you hand out hints, you get handed pink slips here.
Is that what happened?
Oh, it's very, very tough.
You definitely have to wait to the bottom half of the inning to get an answer. Maybe Cologne's biggest out of the day so far was getting Reynolds to strike out in the first inning with the bases loaded.
There's a strike. So Cologne has a 2-0 lead. The Orioles have stranded 5 over the first 3 innings, so Cologne has gotten tough when runners are on.
Last inning, they stranded a couple. That last pitch to Derek Lee, that 3-2 fastball that did everything but sing the national anthem on the way to home plate.
That one is punched into center field, a base hit for Mark Reynolds.
Cologne went with a breaking ball there. Reynolds kind of just served it up the middle. I've seen a lot of breaking balls, but you see one here. So you don't. It's funny. Cologne's slider doesn't have as much movement as his two-seamer.
Felix, PA. You know, at the trade deadline, you hear so many stories, you read so many stories where teams don't want to part with young players, highly touted, can't miss. Well, Felix, PA is a perfect example of a guy that couldn't miss. The Cubs thought he couldn't miss. He was that good. Well, you know what? He's missed. Ground ball, a base hit through the right side. Mark Reynolds is going to go to third. Nick Swisher will throw the ball into second. And the Orioles are set up. Runners on first and third and nobody out.
It is a left-handed hitter. You see Jorge sneaking off the base, but not a lot of room covered. Big hole over there for a left-handed hitter.
So can Cologne get out of this jam without allowing a run? There's Craig Tatum. Craig Tatum, obviously a threat to bunt in. Mark Reynolds does have great speed. But Buck sometimes gets a little funky and might start a runner. Learned at the knee of Billy Martin in the Yankee organization. Buck actually became one of Billy's favorites. Buck was a manager in the Yankee minor leagues, and Billy was managing the Yankees. And what the Yankees do is they have some of their minor league managers come to spring training, sit on the bench with the manager. At least they did back then. And Buck was sitting next to Billy, and there was a Yankee runner on first base, and there was a young pitcher on the mound that Buck had seen in the minor leagues. And Billy told Buck, or Buck told Billy, have your runner take a bigger lead. And Billy said, why? He said, make the pitcher throw over, he'll throw it into right field. So Billy made the sign to the runner to advance the lead, and he did. Pitcher threw it into right field, and that's it. Billy was.
That's it. I told you this story. We were playing the Chicago White Sox, and Buck in the scouting report said, if we get late in a game, I want to push the issue on a pickup because I want Frank Thomas to have to throw somebody out at second base. Gerald Williams actually got picked off. Frank Thomas threw it into left field. He ends up at third base. We end up winning the game by a run. So, you know, you talk about guys that prepare for the game. A lot of things go on in the head of Buck Showalter.
Frank Thomas with a glove was certainly different than Frank Thomas with a bat.
Oh. Yeah, the Big Hurt was it's a nickname usually comes from hitting the ball, not throwing it, right?
1-2. Fouled away. Well, Buck has proven over the years that he can set teams up to win. He left the Yankees, they won a World Series. He left the Diamondbacks, they won a World Series. He left Texas, and Texas ended up becoming a World Series team. And now he's trying to rebuild the Orioles. Right now, the Orioles with runners on the corners, nobody out. See if the Yankees can turn 2. There's one on the first. Not in time. Run scores. It's 2-1 Yanks. So an RBI for Tatum.
I'll tell you what, Cano and Nunez defensively did about everything they could to make an unbelievable double play. Robbie has to wait, but he gets rid of the ball quick. Nunez gets up in the air, can't get a ton on the throw, but makes it close.
Got to give PA some credit here. He came down and made it difficult for Nunez to get a lot on the throw. Like Paul said, you can see the play at first base. Tatum clearly got there ahead of the throw. Gets himself a run batted in.
Blake Davis fouls it away.
Blake Davis, a product of the Orioles farm system. He and Andino have been sharing second base with the injury to, I shouldn't say injury, concussion syndrome to Brian Roberts. Davis was a 4th round pick in 2006 out of Cal State Fullerton. His roommate was Ricky Romero, who was becoming the ace of the Blue Jays that made the All-Star team this year. Newport Beach, California.
I wonder how you have enough time for baseball growing up by the beach. There's so many other things to do, right?
Surfing.
Fouled away.
Well, I want you to keep your phone with you. I will keep you updated on what's going on here.
Thank you. I will have it with me.
Yeah. And if you don't shoot me a text back immediately, they will know on the estimate. So.
I will text you right back. But if I'm on the dance floor, you got to wait till the end of the song. The 2-2. Base hit to right field. Nick Swisher cuts the ball off. Davis is going for 2. Here's the throw. Not in time. It's a double. And Tatum moves the 3rd.
Kenny, it's funny because you saw the first swing and you're like, wow, that was really off balance, but then absolutely hit a bullet right here. Fastball.
That one had the movement, but it moved too far out over the plate. Davis is ready. Rips it. And it appeared that Nick Swisher was playing him a little bit more towards right center. He had to go a fairly decent route to come up with this pitch and this ball. And what's his name got the second? Davis hustling the second base.
Yeah, you're right, Kenny. Nick Swisher got to the ball quick, but you see his weight was going away from the plate. You get caught on the wrong foot, and you just cannot make a strong enough throw to get him at second base.
J.J. Hardy takes a strike. With one out, the Yankees have the infield back. They'll give up the run, which would tie the game on a ground ball. Hardy is 0 for his first 2 at-bats. And 5 for his last 21. .317 hitter with runners in scoring position. The 0-2. Foul away. Orioles have 5 hits against Cologne. And And that run that Colon gave up in this inning, that's the first one he's allowed against the Orioles this year.
You come to the ballpark, you got a split doubleheader. You know, as a veteran player, as much depth that the Yankees have, you're probably going to get one of the games off. Which one you playing?
Tap to second softly. That's going to tie the game as Hardy is thrown out at first and the runner moves at third.
I got to check the pitchers.
The ERA?
Yeah,
check the ERA?
Well, you know, check the numbers. Which one? I'm probably going to play both games.
Yeah. Just looking back, you know, like I said, with the depth of the Yankees team, you're probably going to get a day off from one of them. And so much easier for me to come to the ballpark, get ready, play that first game, and then you can almost relax. To sit through 9 innings and think about tonight.
You get 3 hits the first game. You can
oh yeah, you're in the manager's office begging for another start.
Pitch to Markakis is a strike. The RBI for Hardy, his 7th RBI over his last 5 games. And he has 45 overall. We have a 2-2 game. One of one.
You look back at you playing Little League and Pony League, and you had to schedule double headers, and you just couldn't wait. You knew it was a longer day. You got more at bats. Now you come here and it's like a split doubleheader. Some of the players like, man, we got a doubleheader today. They don't look. You kind of lose focus of how much fun it is to be able to go out there and get 8 or 10 at bats in the day.
8 or 10 at bats, and I always felt in a doubleheader had to get at least 3 hits.
Look, GC even wants it at bat.
You can do something with it.
I went way back in LA.
Out of the stadium.
Yeah. The first time I took batting practice in LA, the first story I heard, and I added, has anybody ever hit a ball out of here? And Willie Stargell. I think he was the first player to do it, or the most memorable one, whatever. But then when I heard that CC did it, I'm like, wow. I don't think he wasn't pimping around the locker room that night telling everybody about it, huh?
3-1. 3-2.
If you talk about hitting shots out of stadiums, Willie Stargell is a good bet. His name's in there somewhere. Pops. Late Willie Stargell.
You don't see too many pitchers just hanging out in the dugout holding the bat, huh?
And he walks him, so a rough inning continues for Colon.
As you look what happened in this inning, you see Larry Rothschild going out to have a little talk, but you know his pitch count is starting to inch up there. But to me, early in the inning, he started going with some off-speed stuff, and I think that once in a while, Colon has been so successful with fastballs. When he goes to some off-speed stuff, he kind of loses release point of that two-seamer. And it kind of compounds within it becoming a big inning.
27 pitches this inning. Posada playing first base gives him an opportunity to impart some of his years of wisdom. As a DH, he can't do that.
That visit was also designed to give Colon a bit of a break here with the 2 outs, and maybe gather himself and try and retire Jones to get out of the inning, who he hasn't been able to retire as of yet today. He's walked him and hit him.
Pitch is high. Doubleheader, you want your first game's pitcher to give you length. With 83 pitches here in the 4th inning, you really don't see Colon pitching 7. And that will impact the move the Yankees make to activate Nova. You know, they didn't use anybody in their bullpen. Maybe they'd send down a reliever. But in all likelihood, it will be a position play. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning.
Oh,
oof. And knocked out Welke.
Watch the concern to Francisco Cervelli. He heard that. Didn't see it, but he heard it. He knew what had happened. Came right and turned right around and check on Tim Welke.
Tell you what, that's a direct hit right there.
High fastball fouled straight back.
So you immediately say I'm okay, but I tell you what, that has got to just wake you up in a heartbeat. That's you don't hear too many direct hits like that. Hear the sound of that.
Yeah, the umpires are actually sitting towards the gap more this year. They're trying to avoid foul balls to the mask shoulder area. And that one got him directly. And see how he's sitting off the left shoulder. Man, solid.
The 2-1. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-2 game. Back again.
Look at how good he was early, and you look at this inning. Boy, you're in the mid-30s pitch-wise. This is tough on Bartolo Colon.
Goes stolen base for Markakis.
Colon's version of a changeup there. He took something off of it, and I don't think it was a slider.
That's an indication that Jones has had some pretty good swings. They want to show him something else. Try and get him out. Try and get him to bite. He wouldn't do it.
That ice look good, feel good today. Three-two, swing and a miss, got it. Breaking ball. A long, taxing inning for Bartolo Colon, but the Orioles scored 2 runs on 3 hits, and there are 2 men left. Had time to cool off. answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Cal Ripken won the 82 AL Rookie of the Year award. Who won the National League Rookie of the Year that season? Hint, he later became a Yankees All-Star.
That's not Tartable, is it?
I don't think so. Let's see. Steve Sax. All-Star with the Yankees in 89 and 90. That was a seismic change when the Yankees got Sax, because what it meant was, you know, their longtime second baseman Willie Randolph was being pushed out. I think Willie went to Milwaukee that year and hit something like 327. Long time on the bench for Tillman, and he goes 1-1 on Cano.
The Yankees starting to get to him a little bit last inning, a couple runs on 3 hits after retiring the Yankees in order first 2 innings.
Kenny, I talked a little bit the other night on how Robbie, when he gets in trouble, it's because he leaves, you know, he swings at balls out of the zone, as you saw right there. And as good a hitter as he is, bad hitters swing at balls and they don't put them in play. Robbie Lucky fouled this ball up. 76% of the pitches he swings out of the zone, he puts in play. And that's, to his credit, he's a great hitter, but you make outs on bad pitches. And if he would swing through and miss some of those pitches, that's a tough one to swing at right there. That's a high percentage.
Good hitter. That's why he puts him in play.
Yeah.
You know, Buck Showalter, their manager of the Orioles, looking for improvement from Tillman and tonight's starting pitcher, Zach Griffin. I mean, these two guys have been in the minors. This is their first starts since being demoted. So he's looking for something that would make him keep him around a little longer.
Cano shows some patience. That works a walk to start the 4th.
The Orioles also had to demote Brian Mattis. They were relying on these 3 youngsters to be 3/5 of their starting rotation. And all of them are back in the minors. Mattis is still there. Mattis was injured in spring training. And the other day, he's quoting the Baltimore Sun was, "I wasn't mentally prepared to start the season."
How?
Yeah,
how?
Every once in a while, you just bite your lip and say, "Did I really say that?"
I mean, what was he expecting in April?
Yeah, we had a collective bargaining agreement. There was no lockout or anything, right?
Well, obviously, he wasn't physically prepared because he got hurt in spring training.
Well, you got to wonder, guys that say they're not mentally prepared, and then you even have to wonder further. Guys that come in out of shape, that's your job. Your body is your job.
It's a 12-month of the year job. You don't use spring training anymore to get yourself ready. You're supposed to be ready when you get there.
It's amazing to me, like you see players coming to camp doughy. What were you thinking?
Doughy. Where'd that word come from?
Because some people just look doughy. I mean, I could come in doughy. I mean, I don't have to play.
Doesn't affect the way you do a game.
No, my voice isn't doughy. Driven to right field. Going back, Markakis on the track. He looks up. See ya! A 2-run home run for Nick Swisher, and the Yankees take back the lead. They're up 4-2.
Well, when you hear this one here, hit the bat, it doesn't sound doughy to me.
Tillman's had some success with the high fastball. That ball was belled high right down the middle. That's usually what happens to it, right?
Swisher's 13th of the season. Now he's hitting 6 straight games.
Here's Eric Chavez. And there was a strike.
How many times do you see it, Paul? Following a walk, Somebody really gets into one.
Yeah, Robbie Cano took a couple close pitches too. Tillman stared in there. He ended up walking. Another pitch, good hit.
Chavez dunks it into right field for a base hit. Markakis comes up throwing, strong arm right to second, holding Chavez to a single. Take one more look at Swisher's swing with the Coors Light cold hard blast.
Again, belt high fastball. Swisher very quiet with his hands. All of a sudden unloads. Good feeling coming out of the box, Kenny, when you know you just got one.
Is there anything in life, you guys, that can approximate hitting the ball sweet and having it go over the wall?
Yes.
I was just biting my lip, Michael. There are some things, but it is one of the better things in life.
I mean, is it? I mean, golfing. Is there something in golfing that?
When you hit one pure in golf, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but you usually don't. In our case, you don't have 50,000 people cheering for you too when you do it.
So Rick Adair comes out and talks with Tillman.
You usually have 3 people cheering against you.
That's right. Something about a golf, you know, everybody loves a shot, whether it's good or bad on the golf course. You know that, Ken.
So here's Posada. Pitch is high.
You notice the pitches are starting to come up a little bit, and this is what we talked about. Tillman's inability to get the ball down.
Strike. You know, they knew Tillman was going to be a ball player early. They knew it early. He was sitting in his high chair, a little under 2 years old, wanted more eggs, didn't know how to articulate it, took an orange and threw it across the kitchen and hit his grandmother in the back of the head. They go, this kid can pitch.
Got control.
Yeah. He got his eggs, too. The 1-1. Way high.
Looks like he's totally lost the feel for that curveball.
Reminds me of the story about Billy Swift. Remember him? Single baller. I think he was one of 13 children. His father said 13 times I threw the ball into the crib. He was the only one to throw it back.
The 2-1.
So he knew he was going to be a pitcher.
You see Tillman right there. I mean, that's the pitch, Kenny. You're talking about driving it down low in the zone, but not getting the call. Tim Wilkie.
The 3-1. 3-2. Fouled away.
Well, he's been on base 5 straight times. And he's worked the count full to 3-2.
Funny, as you go through these little streaks, you start, you know, all of a sudden you getting accustomed to getting on base by a walk or a hit, and it just
favorable counts.
Can't wait to get to the plate.
Driven out into left center field. Both outfielders converge, and running it down is Adam Jones, who gets the ball in quickly, and going back to first is Chavez.
Yeah, ball was hit well, but had too much air time. And Jones and PA both can run very well. Not quite driven on the line. You see him get underneath it. You talk about Camden Yards. That had a chance at Camden Yards, didn't it?
Good days in Camden Yards. Those warning track power, those are the home run parks. The ones that you hit to the warning track on other parks that usually end up in the seats in Camden Yards.
Well, that's got to be gone in Camden Yards, Kenny. It's $3.99 here.
Yeah,
it's on the warning track here, so it's $3.64 there.
Yeah, That's a no doubt.
That's a souvenir there. Dickerson takes low.
And you came into the game saying about Tillman's curveball, he has not been able to throw it for strikes where, you know, hitters really have to respect it. If it's a good pitch for you, you've got to be able to set it up to get strikeouts or get ahead.
Dickerson does not get the opportunity to start very often, so when you do, well, you want to put something together.
That's half the problem with, you know, these little spot starts, is you try to do too much. You try to make every at bat a grand slam. Half the time there's not any people on base, you're still trying to hit a grand slam.
The 2-1. Count 3-1. Tillman looks like a different pitcher this inning.
All kind of started last inning.
Foul away. No one up in the Orioles bullpen, and you know, Buck Showalter's not looking to give away games, but he's trying to find things out about people. Can he depend on Tillman being part of his rotation next year? Same thing with Mattis. Same thing with Britton. (3-2). Served into left field. It's a base hit. PA gets the ball in. Chavez moves to second. So a single for Dickerson.
Good swing by Dickerson. He's seen a couple curveballs, fastball, same count. Ball off the plate away. Shoots at the left field.
The previous pitch, the 3-1, he tried to pull and fouled it back. This one he kind of hung back a little, said, I'll go with it, and throws it out there again. That's a Paul O'Neill special. 2 strikes, line drive, left center. Just like Dickerson smiling at first base.
Have you ever seen a guy get a hit and go to first base and not have a good look on his face? I mean, I don't care how long you've been in the game. It's always a good feeling when you get to stay out there after getting a hit.
You get to talk to the first baseman.
Oh, real chatty too, right?
Here's Cervelli. Tillman, 35 pitches first 3 innings. Here in the 4th inning, 25 pitches. Now they get Troy Patton, the left-hander, up in the Orioles bullpen.
Again, just can't find control of that curveball. He's almost become a one-pitch pitcher now and just does not have good enough fastball to pitch that way. What do you say to that guy, Michael? Just envision, like, you just got a base hit. What are you saying to that first baseman?
How'd that look? Was that some swing?
Most guys, you know, first baseman, halfway to hit the ball, good swing.
Who was the chattiest first baseman you ever came across?
Giambi used to talk a lot. It was funny because Giambi would talk about hitting in the middle of the game too.
Really?
Yeah, he talked about swing, what you're thinking, and things like that.
You know, now that Giambi has gone on to the Rockies and he's almost like an elder statesman, you could actually see him hanging around and being a hitting coach because he is a student of the game.
Oh, he understands the hitting part of it. There's no doubt about it.
Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. Chavez rounds third. He's coming home. The throw to third. It gets past Reynolds. Backing up is Tillman. Moving to second is Cervelli. Another hit for him. And the Yankees lead 5-2.
You know, Cervelli with men in scoring position, said it time and time again, is a better hitter because he uses the middle of the field. Going to this at bat, 310 with men in scoring position. hit a lot of his hits right up the middle. Two good at bats today. Double to left center and now base hit up the middle.
Tillman was backing up home plate in case there was a play there. The ball eventually gets to him as it bounds off the facing of the dugout.
I'm a little surprised Jones didn't go home with that ball because Chavez was kind of staggering around third.
Usually when the manager starts just shutting his eyes and shaking his head when the throws start ricocheting off the cage and it just balls all over the place.
He stutter stepped around third. They bring the infield in now for Gardner, and runners on second and third with one out. Pitch is high.
And Kenny, if you ask me, it's all been because he cannot control that curveball. Whether it's early in the count or as a put-away pitch, he cannot get that curveball over the plate. Like Yankee hitters are just teeing off on looking straight fastball.
Got a number to back up your theory on Cervelli, Paul. Runners in scoring position. He's now a career .324 hitter.
Yeah, he really seems to set his sights to the middle of the field, which is his strength. I mean, he's not going to drive the ball out of the ballpark very often, but if you can drive that ball back up the middle, score a lot of runs that way.
So why wouldn't he think that when there's no one on base?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. And I did the same thing as a hitter. I used to really kind of focus in on the pitcher, trying to stay through the zone a little bit more up the middle.
Popped up by Gardner. Reynolds makes the play for the second out.
And I think it has a lot to do with just knowing you can get hits up the middle, drive in a run from second base, where when you get up there with nobody on, you kind of envision driving the ball in the gap, possibly pulling the ball, and it's just kind of the way he goes about things with men in scoring position. Much better hitter.
2 for 2 today.
Kenny, you were going deep either way, didn't you? Men in scoring position, nobody on.
Sometimes when you step up there and nobody on, you're already in scoring position.
Yeah, that's what Reggie said.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's Eduardo Nunez as the infielders back up with 2 outs. There's a strike. There's a breaking ball that actually finds the strike zone.
Well, it's amazing how just what you feel on a given day. I mean, you can walk up there and just think, I can reach those seats, and then there's times that you wonder if you're going to make contact in an at bat. It's so up and down throughout the course of a year.
Yankees lead 5-2. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. First game of a day-night doubleheader. Kenny, the odds on the internet, O'Neill cannot have 18 innings in him today. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
He's going to have
percentage-wise, I mean, they're shooting me down.
Most people are betting against it.
He's going to have to.
They say maybe 14, 15 tops. You're going to hear a lot of Kenny talk in 7th, 8th, and 9th inning tonight. Fouled away.
Well, you have to explain that for people who aren't aware. You're going to be at a wedding tonight.
Yeah, going to a wedding for one of the producers of my radio show, Andrew Gunman.
Yeah.
See?
The Warrior is going to have to step in so I can go to Andrew and Amanda's wedding.
He'll think of something.
Yeah, I got Michael's 10. Now, if I give you a text, say it's the 3rd inning, Michael, I'm really struggling, will you come back?
Absolutely.
You will.
Not.
Yeah, you had me halfway through that line.
2-2, strike 3. Nunez down looking. But the Yankees take the lead back. They score 3 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2, but the big blow up the bat of Nick Swisher. A 2-run home run, a 35-pitch inning, a 5-2 Yankee lead. Bob, a little bit later on as we go to the 5th inning, and it is 5-2 Yankees over the Orioles. Vlad Guerrero will lead off against Bartolo Colon. His team picks him up, scoring 3 after he gave back 2, and the first pitch is outside. Colon does not look as sharp today as he did in his previous start. Not throwing as consistently hard with the same sort of movement. Blows that one by Guerrero.
You say early in the game, Ken, he was fastball, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, and you know, he was just mowing guys down. And for some reason, when he starts going to other pitches, it's like he loses a little bit on his fastball and loses the control of that 2-seamer, bringing it back.
Ground ball to Nunez. Gets a nice hop, steadies, fires, and there's one away. Hey, come out to Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, August 9th for a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Angels. The first 18,000 guests, 14 and younger, are going to receive a Yankees back-to-school set, courtesy of PC Richard & Son. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, the Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
That's a parents' giveaway. Parents talk about back to school in early August where the kids don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, they get a little nervous with those back-to-school sales. Did he go? Yes, he did. So the count 0-2. Bartolo's trying to make it through 5. He's going to be over 100 pitches at that point.
Yeah, he needs one of those 9-10 pitch innings. Kind of get back on track a little bit. Even so, it's Yankees going to have to use the bullpen today in this game.
They're going to be in there soon too. You know, Bartolo Colon, I don't think Joe Girardi or Larry Rothschild want to get him over, much over 100 pitches. It's kind of has been his thing.
Strike 3. Lead down looking for the second time today. Looks like Colon's empty in the tank here in the 5th. He's throwing 94, 95.
Both times on the same pitch. That fastball with the great movement.
Here's Mark Reynolds. Mark's 1 for 2 today. Both Colon and Tillman threw 35 pitches apiece in the 4th inning.
Tell you what, I just love it. I mean, if you look at this inning, what's happened? He's found the fastball again. He's going at people just with the 2-seamer and a 4-seamer. I think sometimes pitchers just outthink themselves. And I look at A.J. Burnett. I mean, could he get through the first couple innings? Everybody knows he has a great curveball, but could he get through the first couple innings just finding that good sinker on the outside part of the plate?
The 0-2. 95 miles an hour. And that was his 100th pitch.
Maybe senses what you were thinking about, Michael. It's
finish line.
Yeah, 5th inning. Get out of here with a lead. Maybe get 5 and fly. One of those types of victories.
They all count in the standings, don't they? Last time out, he threw 7. Every day's a new adventure out there. I tell you what, Bartolo Colon, like we said in the pregame, I mean, he has really exceeded expectations on for the Yankees.
Boy, you look overhead, there's not a cloud in the sky here at the stadium. Just a beautiful Saturday afternoon.
We've had so many of these beautiful days since I've been here, Michael. We mix one in between every 4 days of rain delays.
See a little cloud up there. Pretty clear there.
We had some artwork early. There was a plane up, where they spell things. I couldn't figure out what it was saying. I was going to ask you, Michael.
I didn't even see that. You should have pointed it out. Some skywriting overhead. Some puffy clouds. The 2-2. Oh, Willie Randolph booted it. He's going to hear about it. Sure-handed as a second baseman, but could not pull that one in. Willie's got the nice set there.
Got his feet. I'll see. That's what happens. You got to use 2 hands, Willie.
You know what? If I'd hit it, he would have caught it.
In Yesmo, wow, just didn't get into the pocket. The 2-2 swing and a miss. So a bounce back inning for Bartolo Colon. He retires the Orioles in order with 2 strikeouts. We're halfway through. Yankee 5, Orioles 2. Next ball, again, the question, which recently acquired outfielder will have the greatest impact on a new team? You've been texting furiously at 58772, and the majority think that it will be Carlos Beltran.
Did you vote on that, Michael?
No, I did not.
You took the day off?
Mm-hmm. I think Beltran will have the most effect this year because they had no offense. So they acquired a number 3 hitter. Hunter Pence is going to be a nice player for the Phillies, but Carlos Beltran was desperately needed. Pitch is high to Teixeira. So let's see if Tillman can bounce back the way Colon did.
Over to a changeup. Haven't seen too many of those. I mean, like he said, he has not been able to find that curveball. You've got to have some kind of off speed to keep him off the fastball. Let's try the changeup. Even from here, that fastball looks awful straight coming over the top, doesn't it?
That was one of the things that I was told, that his fastball is straight, not much movement. So, you know, one thing he could work on a 2-seam fastball, get some ground ball help.
I've seen 2 changeups. There's another 2 changeups in the same at bat where, you know, this might have come from the bench. Hey, let's scrap that curveball. You don't have it today. Let's go to the fastball changeup.
Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Davis. And Lee can't come up with the scoop, backing up his Tatum. So Teixeira will reach. Lee's a very good first baseman, too. Just couldn't come up with that one. And it's an E4.
Yeah, Lee at first has been a Gold Glover over in the National League with the Cubs, but this one a little short hop, couldn't handle it. And Teixeira's going to be safe. It's a little too close to him. You know, just can't really reach out and get it. You got to wait for it to come to you, and this time off the glove.
Coming right at you. The seams on that baseball. I can still read those seams in slow motion, Kenny. It's the ones that are thrown hard you can't see anymore.
Here's Cano. You don't lose it because your good buddy Tino Martinez hit a home run against David Cone in the All-Timers today here.
See, but Cone is slowed down, and so is Tino, so they're right on time.
Right. Cone knew right where to put it, though. Got to give him some credit for that home run.
Was it a wall scraper, or did he really get it? I mean, was it way out of here?
It was about 2 or 3 rows deep.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was a legitimate home run.
They all count.
Oh, in the old timers game, you kidding me? If you can still hit the seats?
I'd be happy to get it out of the infield.
And that was with the pressure of Tino having his kids tell him before the game, please, whatever you do, don't embarrass us.
Kind of thing. That's the kind of pressure we lead with every day, Michael.
The 0-2. And Cano swings and misses. So he struck out twice against Tillman. He didn't look comfortable at the plate last night. He's not looking great today.
Chasing a pitch out of the zone. Paul talked about it earlier. That he's such a good hitter that he feels he can hit anything. And, you know, the pitcher just get it above his happy zone. He gets himself out.
Here's Swisher, 2-run home run his last time up. Broke a 2-2 tie. That one is driven deep to center field. Adam Jones back. Still back on the track at the wall. It hits the base of the wall. Teixeira will stop at third. It's a double for Swisher, and the Yankees have runners on second and third with 1 out.
Well, you saw Tillman get the ball above Cano's happy zone. Twice he has hit Swisher's happy zone.
Yeah, again, I mean, the sound off the bat, Kenny, it sounded like it was gone again. Jones does one thing. He gets the ball quickly in. Keeps Teixeira at third base. Gives Eric Chavez a chance to drive in a couple runs.
Guys, what was Jones thinking? He wasn't even close to the ball.
Well, every once in a while, see, he looked at the wall and he lost the ball there. And you know, you have to look at the wall going back, but you got to do it a little sooner and start timing your steps so you can't take your eye off the ball that late.
I'll tell you, Swisher's been night and day left-handed since the beginning of the season. He has really come on.
Really picked it up too. I mean, offensively in this homestand, he's been a force in the Yankee lineup.
Well, he had 20 RBIs in April and May, and he has 39 RBIs between June and July. Now, Buck Showalter's seen enough. He's going to take the ball from Tillman. So the kid gets called up from the minor leagues. Looked great in the first 2 innings, but now Troy Patton's going to take over with 1 out here in the 5th. Advanced Urology Centers of New York, the best care in the world, right in your backyard. By the HP Touchpad, everybody on, and by SL Express. Enjoy the journey. Well, Buck Showalter's not enjoyed the journey so far today, especially with Chris Tillman kind of changing after the first 2 innings. So Buck makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. Those are the numbers on Troy Patton, his 5th game. In his previous 4 5 innings, 4 hits. And the Orioles have to bring the infield in halfway. You've got Teixeira at third, Swisher at second, Chavez at the plate. So the lefty Patton deals. There's a strike.
Well, you see Eric Chavez's reaction to that first pitch. Sidearm pitch. Looked like it was away off the plate. Oh. Makeup pitch right there, Kenny.
Trying to hang in there with him. Yep. Ooh, that was close. Maybe a little low. Looked like it clipped the front corner.
That one is driven down the right field line. Fair ball, it's trouble. It's a foul ball. It's like he did that one-handed.
He's got that leg kick, and it kind of bails as he hits, but he has always been able to cover the outside pitch. Open up, and you bail a little bit with. Oh,
my goodness!
Oh, that's terrible.
Wow, I didn't want to fly. He's all right. One, two. Fouled off.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Poor guy. Enjoying the game. A 1-2. Pitch outside. Just before we showed him right there, he did raise his hand and said, "I'm okay." The 2-2. Foul back.
Back in the day when Eric Chavez was an everyday player with the A's, he faced a lot of left-handed pitchers. Sort of like you, Paul. He's in there against the lefties. And like you, he had a good glove to bring one out to the field. Excellent third baseman.
Gold glove third baseman over there at Oakland.
2-2. Base hit through the drawn and infield. Teixeira scores. Swisher will stop at third. An RBI single for Chavez, and it's 6-2 Yankees.
First couple of pitches looked a little shaky against the lefty, but then they started dialing the release point. And right here, Patton makes probably his worst pitch of the at-bat. And Chavez is waiting. Drills it through the drawn-in infield. The Yankees pick up another run.
Really good at bat by Chavez, but I kept looking for that big breaking ball, that sweeping breaking ball, and he never really threw it. Everything was hard. Trying to use that release point, that sidearm release point to fool him.
Well, Chavez could be so important for the Yankees until Alex Rodriguez comes back, maybe in the middle of August. He could see a lot of time at third, 6-time Gold Glove winner. He's got power, and that's a big at bat right there. That's what he could bring to this team if he could stay healthy. Here's Posada, infield back for the double play, and he swings and misses. Six, 9-1 Yankees, 2-5-1 for the O's.
Take that, please.
Georgie said check it before that even hit the dirt, I think.
That was unbelievable. He really did say it before it hit the dirt. Listen to this.
Take that, please.
Check that, please.
At least he was polite about it.
The 1-1. Grounded to third. The throw to first. They get Posada. And Swisher scores, so Posada gets a ribby as Chavez moves to second. And the Yankees lead 7-2.
Right here he's saying RBI, please. Right over the bag, and Reynolds gets rid of it in a hurry. Kind of Airmailed it over the first, didn't he? But he gets the out, but the Yankees get another run. Basalli gets the job done.
Here's Dickerson. Count 1-0. And the pitch. 1-1. We're at the bottom of the fifth.
I think with the 7-2 lead, you see the Yankee bullpen up. Bartolo Colon is probably done. A little over 100 pitches.
Corey Wade getting ready in a hurry. They could probably push Colon one more inning, but what's the wisdom in that? They need to keep him healthy. 1-2. That knocks down Tatum.
First the home plate umpire Tim Welke, and now Chris Tatum.
You know, John Flaherty said numerous times up here, it really doesn't hurt. I don't get it. It does hurt. Maybe Flash just got numb to it or something, because it has to hurt.
Well,
they got a helmet on or not.
Former Cardinals catcher Mike Matheny knocked out a baseball because of multiple concussions from the foul tips. One-two. Served into left field, a base hit for Dickerson against the lefty. Chavez will score. An RBI single for Dickerson, his second hit, and the Yankees lead 8-2.
Same spot, left center field.
Well, we talked about it. You don't get an opportunity to start very many games, so you want to put something together if you can when you get the opportunity. And Dickerson's second hit, and he picks up a run batted in. He's also scored a run today, so he's made a contribution. The first game of 2 this afternoon, and getting a hit off a lefty as well.
Now, if you're Buck Showalter and you're evaluating Pat, when he comes in, he gives up hits to the lefties that he faces. That's not what you want to see.
Both with 2 strike counts and both with fastballs. And when you think how lefties get out lefties, it's usually getting ahead in the count and expanding with the breaking ball. Both times he had hitters on the rope for 2 strikes and left the fastball over the middle of the plate.
Pitch outside. In Cervelli's last 7 starts, he now has 4 multi-hit games with his 2 hits today. There's a strike. Runner goes, and Dickerson steals second. Now, we told you that the starter in tonight's game is Ivan Nova. And there's a possibility that Dickerson could be the guy that's sent down to the minor league, so he's trying to make the case. No. I'm having a big game.
Who's on that list, Michael, in your mind? Started it off with Dickerson. Possibility.
You know, Dickerson's the only position player, I think. And then it's got to be somebody in the bullpen, maybe Hector Noesi. I'm not sure. There's a fly ball to right, and that'll do it. But the Yankees get 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. 8-2. Yankees lead the Orioles as we go to the 6th.
Dealer. Yankees leading 8-2 over the Baltimore Orioles as we head to the 6th inning. Swisher's hit a double, a home run, 2 runs scored, and a couple of runs driven in. Eric Chavez with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run. Brett Gardner with a 2-run single. The Yankee offense with 10 hits through the first 5 innings. New pitcher in the ballgame.
Corey Wade, a 1.88 ERA in 14 games, 14 and a third, 12 hits, 4 walks, 11 strikes. Done a nice job for them. So he takes over for Colon, who went 5 somewhat shaky innings, to a lot of pitches, especially in the 3rd and 4th inning. His pitch count got over 100, so he's eligible to get the win, but not one of his better starts. And now it's up to the bullpen to get the final 12 outs. And I'll start with Wade.
We did have that, 35, 36 pitch inning. He did end up throwing mid-90s again. So, I mean, you have to look at what he does, and he continues to do it, how successful he is with his fastball.
Now the Yankees, 3 runs that they scored in the 5th inning, all unearned to the Baltimore team, but one was charged to Patton personally, that is earned. But the throwing error by the second baseman Davis is what started the scoring and led to the 3 runs.
Nice changeup from Wade. He has some good off-speed pitches. Good curveball, decent changeup, fastball, maybe touches 90.
No, Kenny, you weren't here the other day, but we were doing a post game.
Gotcha.
And Michael opens his mail every day, right? He pulls out a Partridge Family lunchbox and is proud as a peacock. But is there a story behind this that I should know?
Because in a game that you weren't doing, it was a blowout we started talking about, and I said that as a kid I had a Partridge Family lunchbox and a Beverly Hillbillies lunchbox. And that listener was so nice, or viewer was so nice, that he sent me a Partridge Family lunchbox. And I put it right in the living room, up on the whatever it's called, the bookshelf.
On the bookshelf?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I bring this up,
line drive to center field, coming on Gardner. He makes the play to retire PA.
Is because like a game a month ago, I'm talking about something, and I guarantee you've heard it, Kenny. And all of a sudden, hang on, I'll be right back, Michael. I got to get something.
Don't let the game stand in your way.
No, the game's going on.
All right. Oh, he's off headset right now, so I'll do a little radio play-by-play. He's opening the box. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I remember those.
There's a line drive to center field, and Tatum is retired. So now the world is going to see what. Talking to that, Paul.
Those are rabbit ears. You told me you've never heard of rabbit ears.
No.
Kenny?
We used to wear those in Little League, yeah.
See? I think all your Little League stories are a farce if you've never worn these. Could you mind Michael leading off first base of these?
You look like Frank Merriwell. Yeah. It looks like a football helmet. Well, they just ran out of plastic for the top? Is that it? Those are rabbit ears.
Where did that come from?
From New Jersey. They sent them to me.
Let's give the guy a plug. Who is he?
Hey, oh, you know what? He's bashing Leiter, too, because Leiter was part of it. He'd never heard of it.
What's the guy's name? Keith?
Tell the Piney that the Beanies are up north. Keith? Kazuma.
Blake Davis.
Thanks, Keith.
Well, that's a classic inning right there to see Paul in those rabbit ears. Wow. Orioles go down in order, and I'm going to try to digest this as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees have a comfortable 8-2 lead.
There he is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's heinous.
You know what? When you go to your wedding tonight, we'll sit you right beside us here.
So this is going to hold my space
That's
for tomorrow?
you right there.
All right. It does look. It does look. It looks like a wrestler.
That's all the protection you got.
John Filippelli, our boss, said that looks like a college wrestler, and it does. Will they cover your ears?
Right, in case you took one in the dome, walking, running between bases.
Here's what I don't understand, Paul. You're younger than me, and I swear to you that in the Throgs Neck Little League where I played, we wore helmets. We didn't wear that. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, that was big in Columbus, Ohio.
Guys got color TV out there yet?
Well, not to the mid-'70s. I told you that's why I like the Oakland A's. They were the first color TV team I saw.
Top of the Yankee order, Gardner, Nunez, and Teixeira. 3-0 count. And the pitch. There's a strike.
Patton is one of 3 left-handers in the bullpen for the Orioles. Mike Gonzalez, Mark Hendrickson, the other 2. Buck Showalter has that luxury of 3 lefties.
You know, you would think at Patton and Kenny, you see his delivery. You would think he'd have a big sweeping breaking ball, but his breaking ball has not really fooled the lefties because it kind of stays on the same plane. There's not a big loop in it, but he's given up. I said last inning, given up some hits with 2 strikes. Again, there's that slider. Good one there.
Fans, tonight the Orioles and the Yankees square off in Game 2 of this day-night doubleheader. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Paul and I, we're back and move to call the action. Orioles-Yankees. Coverage starts tonight at 6:30 only on Yes. Mike will be well into that wedding by then.
The night game is a makeup of a rainout on Tuesday, from Tuesday, April 12th. So that's why we have a day-night doubleheader today.
Actually, when the Yankees go to Baltimore, they got a makeup game to do. Get another day-night doubleheader.
Michael, we already did one of these day-night doubles.
Yeah, we
Cincy.
did. Yeah, absolutely.
We can do these things.
I think that players, and I've talked to baseball people about this, and some of them are lukewarm on it as Nunez swings and misses. I think that if you had a day-night doubleheader once a week and you gave players a day off each week, they would appreciate it more and they'd probably take the day-night doubleheader. But most, like I've talked to Joe Girardi about it, he says it's according to if you have an older team. He said, I don't think our team, which is an older team, can handle a doubleheader each week.
Yeah, if you look at some of the older players, day-night doubleheaders, they're not going to play both games, so it's going to cost them games and stats.
There's a strike. But would you rather have a doubleheader each week and a day off each week rather than have the stretch of 21 straight games?
You know what? A doubleheader once in a while never really bothered me as a player. I actually, like I was talking earlier with Kenny, I mean, look forward to, kind of excited to get 8-10 at bats in a day. But I don't know if the scheduled ones. I don't know if it'd be easier for you or harder. I don't know. What do you think, Kenny?
I think personally the Yankees are like a rhythm team, and they like that everyday sort of thing, because when they get the days off, that kind of throws them off. And you've seen that time and time again. They look flat when they come back off an off day. But
right.
When they really get rolling, you want to keep playing. Just keep playing and keep playing. And not 2 in one day.
Here's the 1-2 to Teixeira. Popped up. So Patton comes back with a much better inning as Markakis comes on to retire Teixeira. The Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. 6 in the books. Yankees 8, Orioles 2 right here on Yes. The top of the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium. First game of a day-night doubleheader. And we'll have all the action right here on Yes. You keep watching Yes, you're going to see Yankee baseball all day. Top of the Yankee order, or top of the Oriole order, J.J. Hardy will start it off against Corey Wade. He pitched the 1-2-3 6th inning, and Wade deals a strike. You'll see Wade doesn't really crack 90 that often. He's usually at 88, 89, but he's about pounding the strike zone, throwing strikes, good strikes, changing speeds. Change of speeds right there. Nice play by Chavez. Spins and throws. One away. People forget 6 straight years with the Oakland A's he won a Gold Glove. This was not an easy hop.
Quick hands with the glove hand, and then the accurate throw to first base for the out. And that last hop was a doozy. Came up on it. Watch the quick hands. Ooh, right up near the web there.
Eric Chavez always in. I notice he uses a big glove for an infielder, and a lot of infielders use that smaller glove so they can, get the ball out of the glove, turn double play. Eric Chavez always uses a little bit bigger glove than most infielders.
Wade starts off Markakis with a breaking ball strike.
Looks like an outfielder's going.
Knows what to do with it, though. I tell you, in his earlier days in Oakland, we talked about a Gold Glove third baseman, and he was quick, diving plays.
You know what he was really good at? The in-between hops. Just the tough hops. He made him look easy.
That's Cano's glove, which is, your typically small second baseman's make.
Joe Morgan had the smallest glove I've ever seen anybody play with, and the Cincinnati Reds, big red machine, second baseman. You got to have good hands to be playing second base with that.
I've seen old film of Phil Rizzuto. Didn't really have a pocket in his glove. It was just almost like a pancake of leather. Got rid of it quickly. The 3-1.
That's why gloves have different nicknames. Like a pug.
Nice play.
See, the extra length of the glove paid off there. Let's reach back over the shoulder.
Chavez getting over there, fighting the sun a little bit, fighting the tarp. Where is it? Whoop. There it is.
2 nice plays in a row by the Yankee third baseman.
Michael, you talk about doubleheaders. We've talked about it a lot today, obviously. And the one date, July 8th, 2000, that comes to mind, it's the only doubleheader that really comes to mind to me immediately, was the home and away doubleheader we played with the Mets.
That was pretty neat.
It was. Played over at Shea Stadium and then ended up here the night game. Playing your crosstown rivals in high school, and a home and away. Pretty neat.
When you realize how close the 2 stadiums are, especially when you have a police escort.
Yeah, that makes it nice.
Adam Jones hammers one down the left field line. It's a base hit. It'll go to the wall. Dickerson fields the carom, and Jones hustles into second with a double.
Jones is now hitting 6 of his last 7 games. And he's been particularly quick on pitches inside.
We talked Kenny yesterday. He's probably the Baltimore Orioles' best athlete out on the field. Plays a good center field. He's having a good year offensively too. And you see he pulls those hands in, which makes him very quick to get to that ball in the inner half of the plate. First
There's
pitch,
Vlad Guerrero. First pitch. No.
Took one. Gonna mix it up a little bit.
It's not like he couldn't reach that. He probably just said, I'm not going to swing the first pitch.
He's the anti-Bobby Abreu. Remember Bobby? Never swung. Well, I shouldn't say that. But I heard a stat on him the other day. Last year he went to the plate 685 times. 635 times he took the first pitch.
Bobby
Abreu.
Really?
I always felt guys like that, the pitchers know it too. So it's like if you think you're going to time them, I mean, they might throw that first pitch 82 right down the middle because they know you're not going to swing. then you think you're on it, and then they throw a 92 and you get jammed.
The danger time is when there's man on base, because then all bets are off. You throw one down the middle, you're going to swing it.
1-2 count on Guerrero. He's 1 for 3 today. Yankees lead 8-2. Runner at second, 2 outs. And the pitch. High. Guerrero walking around the Oriole clubhouse this morning, sporting a Superman t-shirt. Good in the clubhouse, good with his teammates. The 2-2. Popped up. Long run for Posada, and he makes the play. Jorge Posada getting a little more comfortable playing first base, runs that one down. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here in the Bronx, and there's a first baseman stretch as Jorge Posada puts it away, but will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Kim. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees lead 8-2, trying to bounce back from their 4-2 loss last night to the Orioles. First game of the series. Incredible stat. The Yankees are 17-18. You see the Cadillac scoreboard there with an 8-2 score. 17-18 in series openers. So they don't open up series very well. But they're 23-11 in the second game of the series. Also, it bodes well because this is a day game. They're 29-7 in day games. Here's Cano, and the pitch by Patton is outside.
When you think about the second game of a 3-game series, it could be the most important one. You win that one, gives you a chance to win the next day, make it 2 out of 3 if you drop the first one. Of course, that's the hard way of doing it. But it gives you that momentum going into the third game. And if you won the first one, some momentum going for a sweep in that third game. So Second game always a swing game in a 3-game series.
Popped up. Reynolds for the first half. Trade deadline is Sunday, and the Red Sox just made a deal, and they acquired Mike Aviles from the Royals, kid from New York City, for 2 minor leaguers. He can play the infield. Now that's Jerry Hairston, not Scott, acquired by the Brewers from the Nationals, former Yankee. And I'll tell you what, this kid looked really good.
Yeah. I was just going to say, he pitched a good game the other night. From
Doug Fister
Seattle.
from the Mariners, the Tigers acquire him, so starting to see some movement, some more movement now. Well, you look at that guy, and that's a perfect example. You can't look at the guy's records, oh, he's terrible. I think he has 12 losses, but he can pitch.
Oh, he's a 4-pitch pitcher, throws them all for strikes, battles guys, goes at people.
He'll get more run support in Detroit.
Much more. Played for a good manager, Jim Leland. Going to a situation where he's on a good team that's got a good chance to win that division. That would be an exciting time for him.
One. Strike. Nick Swisher, another good day. A 2-run home run and a double. 2 runs scored. His home run is 13th of the year. He has 59 runs batted in, hitting .264. And his first 2 months were really struggles for him. And he is really pushing his numbers up to where he wants them to be. I don't know if he's going to reach what he had last year, but certainly very good.
Still has the big difference between left-handed and right-handed, and with Alex Rodriguez out of the lineup, start seeing some left-handed pitching. Be very, very important for Nick Swisher. Turn it around right-handed.
Nick had 29 home runs last year and 89 runs batted in, so he's going to have to really turn it on to get to that. Hot shot, and off the glove of Reynolds. Eats him up, trickles into foul territory, and Nick will stop at first with a single. We've seen Reynolds get the glove on 3 balls in this series, and it just doesn't stay there. It kicks off the glove.
Well, this one's a tough chance for any third baseman. A rocket off the heel or off the thumb of the glove, gets away from Reynolds. You're right, Michael. He's slowed him down, but he hasn't come up with him cleanly. And once again on Yesmo.
See, immediately when that ball didn't go in his glove, his head went down, though he didn't have a play.
Check swing, slow roller up the third base line, foul ball. So with 3 hits, Swisher now has 5 3-hit games this year. Eric Chavez looking for that. He's 2 for 3. In that Red Sox deal, by the way, where they got Mike Aviles, they gave up Yamaiko Navarro, an infielder who was listed as their 12th best prospect, and right-handed pitcher Kendall Volz, a Class A pitcher. And they got him because Aviles was hitting .309 against lefties this year.
Michael, you remember as well as I do in the old days, if the Red Sox did something, the Yankees felt like they almost had to. I just don't see this team feeling like they have to make a move at this point.
Slow roll to the third, throw to first, and a beautiful scoop by Lee this time to retire Chavez. Swisher moves to second. Time for the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Yeah, Reynolds had to scramble to come up with this one. He does, but as Michael called it, a nice scoop on the other end by Derek Lee. Might have saved Reynolds yet another error. And he's got 21 of them already this year. So nice scoop by the big first baseman. Yeah, to retire Eric Chavez.
Here's Posada 1 for 3 with a ribby. Batting from the right side. Drives that one to right field. Markakis toward the line will make the play for the final out of the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 7 in the books at the stadium. Yankees 8, Orioles 2. Chevy player of the game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Here are today's candidates. Number 1, Nick Swisher. Number 2, Brett Gardner. Number 3, Francisco Cervelli. And number 4, Eric Chavez. Now, vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Not an easy one today as we go to the 8th inning. Corey Wade still on the mound. He's pitched 2 scoreless. The Hyundai scoreboard shows an 8-2 Yankee lead. Derek Lee at the plate with an 0-1 count. Derek 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts against Cologne. 2 strikeouts looking. Remember, Cologne came into the game with 54% of his strikeouts looking, and that's because that pitch that moves back. Tough one to read for batters, and they end up freezing and taking a called third strike. Well, Wade, nice and easy. Not really seeming like he's going to try to break a pane of glass, but he's got movement and he throws strikes.
Every once in a while he'll drop down to the right-handed hitters. This might be a good situation for that. He hasn't done it yet.
Still anxious to see Soriano, what kind of stuff he's going to come back with. We haven't seen him since he's been activated.
Activated before last night's game. Strike 3, another strikeout looking for Derek Lee, who has been red hot since the All-Star game, but not this afternoon. Now, when it comes to Soriano, you wonder, does Joe want a quick baptism under fire where it's a close game? Or is this a better look at him in the 9th inning?
Well, I think that, you know, with Robertson having the rest that he had the last few days, that you would get him in and just have a comfortable inning, possibly the 9th of today, of this game. Or I can't see him coming in a pressure situation. I mean, I can see it happening if it has to happen, but I would think that Joe would like to get a couple innings under his belt.
Like a shakedown cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this
ease
is
him into the water.
This is the game.
Yeah.
Reynolds 1 for 3. Strikeout sandwiching a single to center and a run scored. That one's drilled deep to left field, but it hooks foul. Wow. That's off the Audi Yankees club. I don't know if we've seen that. Now it's a foul ball, obviously, but that was some shot.
Well, most pitchers will tell you this is just a loud strike.
Loud twice, off the bat and off the window out there.
That one's drilled deep to left field. That one's not going to hit the Audi club, but it'll hit his seat. A home run for Mark Reynolds, and it's 8-3 Yankees. Reynolds' 23rd home run of the year.
And Kenny, we talked about it. You know what you get with Mark Reynolds. You get home runs, you get strikeouts, but he has cut his strikeouts down. Was he 113, 114 coming in today?
Yeah, 114 coming in, 2 today, 116. This is also his 23rd home run. Something on the inner third of the plate, and he just spins on it. Here it is in Yesmo. More time to enjoy it if you're a hitter.
Well, I actually got in on him a little bit, but got an extension and enough to carry it out of here.
Pitch to Felix PA is a strike. This is the first time in Corey Wade's career that he has pitched more than 2 innings. He's at 2 1/3 right now. The 0-1. High fly ball, right field. Swisher makes the play for the second out.
You talk about Reynolds' home run, and you see where he hits the ball. Bam, and here's his sweet spot out in here, just a little bit. Ball gets on him just enough, but you see the extension. And that's what makes the ball carry. Kind of muscled it out of the stadium, but boy, I tell you what, the one before that he hit off the alley pavilion or the alley window out there, that one he had extension and he hit the center of the bat.
Here's Tatum. Count 0-1.
You see the foul ball out a little farther on the bat, out in the sweet spot. That's why you get the carry, but he hooked that one foul. Home run, you see, just a little bit closer to the label. I'd rather hit that one on the label that stays fair, huh, Kenny?
Oh yeah.
Those show up in on the back of your card where the other ones don't.
Probably hit a lot of foul home runs. You know?
Yeah.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Corey Wade with 3 innings of 1-run ball. Mark Reynolds, though, the only blemish. He hit the outie sign. But then he goes from outie to out of the ballpark. 8-3 Yankees. Base runners in 35 innings, a 5.66 ERA, just 1 save. When they got him, Kenny, they thought he was going to be their closer.
Yeah, they did, and almost immediately he fell into disfavor by blowing the saves after joining the Orioles, and they kind of got in the doghouse with the fans as well.
I believe that Mike Gonzalez is the pitcher that hit Dickerson earlier in the year. Josh Bell takes over at third, and Mark Reynolds moves from third to first as Derek Lee is out of the game. This is Gonzalez.
Yeah, for the squeamish, you might not want to look at this. And the next day, Gonzalez actually apologized to Dickerson. But still, man.
Gonzalez has hit some people this year, Kenny. He got suspended because of a brawl with the Red Sox. And he just finished serving that suspension this week.
They threw a ball behind David Ortiz.
Hyundai scoreboard has the Yankees up 8-3 as Dickerson grounds out to Reynolds, who just moved to first. And here's Cervelli, a solid game for him, 2 for 3. A double, a single, an RBI run scored. Done a nice job behind the plate. Pitch is low.
Okay, we're looking forward to the next game. You're trying to, in my head, trying to figure out a lineup, and a lot of times managers will take into consideration, who did what. And, obviously Derek Jeter will be back in short. Russell Martin back catching. To me, Robbie Cano looks a little confused at the plate. Might be a guy that you give it a second game off.
Have Nunez play at Nunez might have to play third.
Might play third. Couple of decisions. Granderson will be back in center field tonight, obviously. Teixeira probably play both. The DH this game, be back at first.
Baltimore's going to be starting a left-handed pitcher in the second game tonight. Zach Britton.
Give Andrew Jones an opportunity to swing the bat probably.
Boone Logan might pitch the ninth for the Yanks. 3-2. Sky down the right field line. Long run for Markakis, but that'll make the seats. And Cervelli on for the third time.
You can see Gonzalez on some of his release of the pitch. His mechanics, he's kind of all over the place. Great arm, but show you talked about him hitting some people, and see how his control could be suspect the way he releases the ball at times.
He worked from the extreme third base side of the rubber. Looks like just his toe is on the rubber. You have to have a connection to the rubber, but his heel is off of the rubber. Gardner hits a deep drive to right center. Adam Jones makes the play on the warning track in front of the Yankee bullpen for the second out. Gardner had the hit that put the Yankees on the board, gave a 2-0 lead, a 2-run single off the glove of Reynolds. That was in the third. Flirting with a home run there, but run down by Jones.
I'll tell you, from a left-handed batter's point of view, I would rather see the lefties start from that side of the mound. I feel like I get a better look at the ball. They're all the way on the other side of the rubber. It's kind of a crossfire. Can't pick up the ball as well. Things you don't have to worry about, can you? Grab another helmet and go to the other side of the plate. Huh?
Jump on the other side.
See, there, I finally thought of the advantage for the rabbit ears helmet. You don't have to grab another helmet if you're a switch hitter.
See that? Got them
just
both
spin
covered.
Around, yeah. See? Both ears covered. Kenny, did you wear the ear flaps, or did you just have the regular helmet that you didn't have to change?
No, when you first started, they didn't have the flaps. Not many players, but then eventually I went to the flaps. A little more protection.
Couldn't imagine going up there with no ear flaps after like that replay we just saw with Dickerson. I mean,
helmets didn't come until the early 50s. Players didn't wear helmets.
Amazing.
Hey, look at that, Montreal Expos. They still live.
It's an old retro hat, huh?
Grounded to Josh Bell. He's going to go across the diamond, and that will do it. So a scoreless inning for Mike Gonzalez. He walked one. The Yankees lead one. We go to the ninth. Yankees up by 5. is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, we go to the 9th inning, and Boone Logan is going to finish this out. Yankees' third pitcher, Bartolo Colon, went 5. He's going to get the win if the Yankees hold on. Corey Wade, 3 strong innings of relief, allowed the home run to Reynolds. That was it, the only run. And now Boone Logan will try to get the final 3 outs. Then it'll be 9-1-2 in the Oriole order, and those are the numbers on Logan.
Impressive with the 28 strikeouts in 27 and third innings. By the way, the Yankees staff second in the league in strikeouts. Only the Toronto Blue Jays pitching staff has struck out more hitters than the Yankees.
I think that the bullpen has probably been the most surprising and the best job done by Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild, because if you look at the injuries they've suffered, it's nothing like the bullpen they thought they were going to have. Their 8th inning guy, Soriano, went down for months. Their 7th inning guy, Jabba Chamberlain, went down for the rest of the year. David Robertson was supposed to be the 6th inning guy, as Robert Andino will pinch hit for Blake Davis, and he's moved up to the 8th inning guy, and they've only had one lefty out there. I think they've done an outstanding job piecing it together where now it's a strength. Yankees lead this one 8-3. And Andino will pinch hit for Davis. How disappointing is this guy? They have a sad Robert Andino on the scoreboard.
And it's funny because my little nephew was here last night, a little 8-year-old, and that's the one thing he told me last night. Did you see the picture of that one guy? Well, they took it off the screen today.
Yeah, he looks miserable there.
It's because he had a bad night last night, right?
Now, they take the headshots every year. The big smile one was from his first year, so he was thrilled to be there. This is this year's spring training. Fouled away.
He was 1 for 3 with a walk last night.
Yeah. Should still be smiling.
Yeah.
There he is. They get the smile back up now. There you go.
As we see, Michael, you speak and the scoreboard just changes. You got a remote or something?
That's great. It's good to see people smile. You're a big leaguer. Only about 750 of you. Smile. It's a great life. The 1-2.
One of that number. Is that about right? 750 players in the league?
25 times times 30.
Yeah, that close.
That's 750, yeah.
When you think about it, in the history of baseball, not that many people have played in the big leagues. It's fewer than you might think. Oh, he's smiling now.
Base hit to right field.
Back at it.
Hey, coming up after the last out, it's the WB Mason post game. This is always Paul O'Neill's favorite part of the broadcast. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry break down game 1 of this double dip, including the latest news from around baseball, plus Kimberly Jones gets the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the post game. It's only on Yes.
Who but?
Andino will lead off first, and here's J.J. Hardy against Boone Logan. Over his last 5 innings, Boone Logan has struck out 9. J.J. Hardy is 0 for 4 with an RBI ground out today. Low.
Saying low with a question mark behind it?
No, that was a solid low. Orioles are 2-9 in their last 11 road games. They have not played well overall, really, but specifically on the road. Strike. The 2-1. Sky to center field. Gardner dances underneath it, puts it away for the first out. Crowd of 46,409 here for the first game of this day-night doubleheader. They'll clear out the stadium. They'll have the cleaning crew come in, make it look spanking new, and then they'll open up the gates again for game 2.
From a player's point of view, looks like you're going to have about 3 hours. Go in there, undress, have a good meal, sit around. You go through the whole thing again about an hour before the game.
The cleaning crew is waiting in the staging area. They're ready to go. They are ready, poised. You know, we're talking about doubleheaders. I read this story earlier in the week. It was either in the Post or the News that in the old days had a lot more doubleheaders.
Oh, yeah.
And the Yankees played 2 back-to-back doubleheaders as Markakis skies one to center field. Gardner will put it away. And Yogi caught all 4 games. Back-to-back, and he caught all 4 games.
Knowing Yogi probably had about 10, 15 hits.
Couple doubles, couple homers.
He didn't want to come out of the lineup.
Ralph Houck, who ended up becoming a manager of the Yankees twice and a GM, he had the best job in baseball. He was backup catcher to Yogi Berra. Never played. He just kept getting World Series shares. Here's Andrew Jones as the Orioles are down to their final out. And there's a strike. Texas has shut out Toronto 3-0. That's the only other game going on. Runner was going, the ball fouled away. And there's a couple of them starting at 4. A lot of night games. Derek Jeter will play in all likelihood in the night game. Joe Girardi hasn't given me the lineup, but I assume since he didn't play in the first game, he will play in the second. Two strikes on Jones. A strike away from a win. The pitch popped up. Cervelli near the Yankee dugout, but it lands on the roof of the dugout. Well, the O's are still alive.
Coming to the ballpark today, I was walking up here and noticed neither team took batting practice today after the late last night. I said you'll go in there, relax for a couple hours, and then probably take batting practice in the cage, especially if you didn't play the first game. Body in the rhythm of getting ready for another game.
The 0-2 just missed outside. And the pitch way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on. Yankees up 8-3. The bullpen's done an outstanding job. 3 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 run to this point. In relief of Bartolo Colon, who had a shaky 5 innings, but is poised to pick up his 8th win against 6 losses. The 2-2. And a base hit. The Orioles are still alive. And Dino hustles to third. And another base hit for Jones, his second of the afternoon.
And you look at that, it's like, okay, now they're down to their last out. You know, game's probably about over, but he battles there. He gets a borderline pitch goes his way. He fights, gets another hit. Now you go into this next game thinking, I'm ready. It's just such a confidence builder as a player to get a hit on that last at bat.
I never liked making a last out in the ball game.
Oh, well, that was, especially on the road. Wasn't that bad?
Keep it going.
Fans start standing up, cheering. Didn't want to make the last out.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero. Does not swing at the first pitch. Takes pitch outside. 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Logan. Swing and a miss.
If he can reach it, he's going for it.
Guerrero 1 for 4 today. That single came in the first inning. He flied out to center, grounded to short, and fouled out to Posada. A nice play by Posada in foul territory. The 1-1. Grounded foul. And again, they're down to their final strike.
I don't think you have to throw him a strike right here. You can bounce a breaking ball. He might go for it.
Swings at almost 60% of the pitches that he sees. And his teammate is close behind. 1-2. High. It's easy to joke about it, but he's been cutting and slashing his way to the Hall of Fame.
I mentioned that last night, and the more you look at his numbers, boy, the more impressive they are.
The 2-2. Nelp foul. Orioles signed him to a one-year deal. About $8 million. They thought he'd be a good influence on their young players. And they thought that he'd have a big season at Camden Yards, but broken bone in his hand slowed him down, put him on the DL. Those are his career numbers: 318, 444 home runs. MVP, a World Championship. The 2-2. 3-2. So that's going to start Adam Jones at first. And because of this jam, you've got to get Mariano Rivera up in the Yankee bullpen. He's already throwing. Runner gets on. Sweaty time. Fouled away. In fact, if a runner gets on, then it is a safe situation. The tying run would be on deck. Here's the payoff. Foul back. 95 miles an hour. That's what Logan dialed it up to.
You see Flat with 2 strikes. He doesn't cut his swing down much. still back legging it, trying to drive one out of here. Just his way of hitting. You really have to pick up the ball so quick to have that big of a swing.
Here's the 3-2. He struck him out. And the Yankees win the game 8-3. Put this one on the left side for the Yankees as they start a long day with a victory. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game. So they want strength against strength, and Guerrero swings through. And Boone Logan closes it out. Another good performance by the Yankee bullpen. They went 4 innings. They allowed just 1 run. And the Yankees are now 30-7 in day games. And they are 24-11 in the second game of the series. A big home run for Nick Swisher as the Yankees get Bartolo Colon a victory, and they bounce back from last night's 4-2 defeat at the hands of the Orioles. And now they have a chance to sweep this day-nighter with the youngster Ivan Nova on the mound. Another nice game for Eric Chavez as he gets to start at first. Couple of hits, couple of nice plays as well. And in the ninth, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. So Colon picks up the victory. Chris Tillman called up from the minor leagues for this start. He will pick up the loss. Tillman now 2-4. Bartolo Colon 8-6. We told you that Nick Swisher had a big home run in this game, and I'm sure he's anxious to talk about it with Kimberly Jones. Kim?
It was a big home run, Michael. How much did it seem like your home run in the 4th there, Nick, really swung the momentum? The Orioles had just tied it, and then your offense keeps going after your home run.
Well, I mean, huge base hit by Gardy early in the game, put us up 2-0. They came right back. For us to, give Bartolo a lead, we feel pretty confident in that, and we got him a couple runs there, and they kind of ran away with it late.
5 times this season you've had 3 hits in a game, including today. Does a day like this feel different when you put the uniform on or when you shake hands after a game?
I don't know. We just try and go out there and do our best every single day. I mean, regardless, we're going out trying to win ball games. And, whatever you can do as an individual to try and help your team win, I mean, that's what you got to do.
Oh, come on. How you feeling at the plate right now?
I feel pretty good, just trying to simplify everything and, just trying to get my pitch and not miss it.
In a little less than 3 hours, you're going to be back out there, right? You're playing tonight, aren't you?
I mean, we could play 3 or 4 today.
Now, what will you do between games?
I'm going to chill. I think I might take a little nap, a little 20-minute power nap. Just kind of do that whole routine over again, I mean, we got enough time right now to be able to try and, make that happen. So either way, we're going to go in there, chill, maybe play a little cards, eat some food, and just enjoy the rest of the day.
I've done extensive research, and peanut butter and jelly is big in spots like this. Is that your gig there?
That's a number 2. That's a Derek Jeter type thing. I mean, he's a peanut butter and jelly freak. He loves that stuff.
All right, giving away secrets. We like it. Nick, we'll see you later. How's that?
See you in a couple hours.
All right, Michael, back to you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Kim. So peanut butter and jelly is what Jeter will have. And Nick Swisher talking to some of the Hope Week participants here. And just a great job by the Yankees all week and a good job in the first game. We'll be back.